Welcome to Mary's Stitching Corner. My name is Mary and this is my channel about cross stitch. Welcome. If you're new and you're just stopping by to check things out, I hope you like what you see and will hit like and subscribe and hit the notification button so that you can find out when I've uploaded another video. For my new subscribers, welcome. I hope you continue to enjoy. And for my returning viewers, thank you so much for coming back each month. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for all the lovely comments last time. So I have a lot to show this time. It's been a month since my last video. So this is Flosstube number 27, and this is July 31st, 2024. So this time I have 9 FFOs, fully finished objects. 8 of them are from the framers, so I'm excited to share those. And one of them was a gift and it's already gone, so, but we'll talk about that. I have 8 finishes, and 3 of those were starts and finishes since I saw you last. 6 new starts, and then we can talk about WIP Go for July and what's coming up in August. Plans, then we can talk about books and life at the end. So let's get started, and this is going to be a bit awkward for me because I'm not sure where to put everything, so I'm going to be leaning all over the place trying to grab things. So anyway, I'm going to start by showing you let me show you the FFO that I'm really not going to show you it fully finished because I forgot to take a picture of it. But I stitched this for my daughter's best friend, and I have a picture of it finished, but I forgot to take a picture of it fully finished. But we'll start with that. So this is Henpeck by Plum Street Samplers. And this is it finished. And I turned it into a pillow and mailed it before I thought to take a picture. If I think about it next time I talk to her, I'll ask her to take a picture and then I can share it next time. So, but she loved it. All right, so my stuff I got back from the framers, it's been so exciting. So initially I dropped off 4 at the framers, and then when I picked those up, I dropped off another 4, and I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break because even though it's cheaper to get them framed without glass and matting, it still adds up. So I'll probably take a month or 2 off, and then I will take some more in. So anyway, I'll start showing them to you, and I'm very happy with them. Some of these are things that I did quite a while ago, and some of them are relatively new. So this one is Lady of the Thread by Lavender and Lace. I hope you can see that okay. It was hard to pick a frame for this one with the black fabric, but I'm quite happy with this. So, and you can see the frame right there. And this made me want to get some of my Celtic ladies framed. So that's number 1. And this one, I stitched this at least 10 years ago. And it's just been sitting in a box. And my friend had bought this kit for me years ago. and I sent her a picture of it framed, and this is my friend back in Scotland, and she said hers was finished and sitting in a box waiting to be framed too, so hopefully this will give her inspiration to get it done. So this is Celtic Cross. I cannot remember who the designer was. I used everything in the kit. So other than that, I'm sorry I don't have any information, but this is it. So I'm really happy to have one of my older projects framed finally. So you can see the frame right there. This one I finished it in 2022, so this is by Jardin Privé. Oh, it's in French, so it's like ABC houses, ABC Le Maison, something like that. And this was such a fun stitch. I really enjoyed this. And I stitched this on 18 count smoky white, I think. So using the code for DMC. And there's the frame. This one I was a little bit worried about. It's a Dimensions Gold kit, and I finished it in 2020. And if you've stitched a Dimensions kit before, you know that it calls for anything between 1 strand of floss to 5 strands of floss. So when you're done with them, they can be a little bit warped. And so this definitely needed to be stretched and blocked, and so I was a little bit concerned about it, but I was so excited when I saw this. So this is Cozy Cove by Dimensions. The artwork is Charles Wysocki. And I just had them frame right up to the edge of the stitching. And now it makes me want to pull out all my Dimensions kits because they just look so good when they're done. And we love Charles Wysocki. We have all these jigsaw puzzles with his art and things, and it's hard to find some of his art in cross stitch now. I mean, you can find them, but sometimes they cost a lot, but I love this. So here's the frame. And sometimes we got the same frames for different projects, but I was so excited to get this one done. If you've watched me for any length of time, then you know the struggle I had with stitching this one. It's the first time I used 40 count linen, and my eyes didn't like it. So it was a real struggle, but I got it done finally. I finished it in 2023, and I think it looks amazing. So this was stitched on, this is A Perfect World by the Scarlet House, and it's stitched on 20 count vintage, no, I just told you it was 40 count vintage country mocha, and using the code for floss, except for one of the greens I had to switch out. So I love it. I think it looks fantastic, and it makes all the struggle worthwhile. So happy with it. And there's the frame. I have a hard time choosing frames because I don't think I've got a very good eye for things like that, but I'm happy with the way they all turned out. So this one I finished this year, and it's Spring Quaker by Lila Studio. And this is stitched on 18 count parchment by To Dye For Fabrics, using 1 strand of floss over 1. And I'm very happy with it, especially because I really struggled. So I got everything done, and then I came over here to finish here, and I was off by a row or something, and I really had to unpick some things and move some things to make it all work, but you would never know. I'm just really, really happy with it. And there's the frame. I have 2 more. This is All Creatures Great and Small by Barbara Anna. I think I finished this in 2023. So here we are. This was one of my favorite pieces to stitch. I just really, really enjoyed it. And this was stitched on 20 count vintage country mocha, using the called for anchor threads, 1 over 1. And yeah, I love them all. So there's the frame. And finally, I love this one. This is probably my favorite, although it's hard to pick a favorite, but probably between this one and All Creatures Great and Small are my 2 favorites. But this one, as I picked it up and was leaving the store and going to the cashier, this is the one everybody commented on. So I hope I can fit it in. Here we go. So this is Black Vintage Sampler by Owl Forest Embroidery. I just think it looks so good. I love the frame that we picked. Yeah, I just love everything about it. And this is one of my favorite things that I've ever stitched also. So this is stitched on 18 count antique white Ada using DMC 310. And here's the frame. I love that frame. Now, if you want to see this stitched in a different color, go check out Laura at Stitching by the Shore. And she just finished hers last week, and she stitched hers on a blue fabric, and it looks amazing. So those are my framed pieces, and I'm just thrilled. I had some birthday money that I decided to use for that, and like I said, in another month or 2 I'll take another batch in, and my plan is to get all my bigger pieces framed. You put so much work into them that it's just a shame for them to sit in a box. But anyway, so I now have 8 finishes to show you. I'm afraid everything's going to fall. Okay, so this was a start and a finish since I saw you last time, and it's July 4th. No. It's called USA Tier by Erin Elizabeth. And this was a fun quick stitch. although stitching that here, yeah, you have to pay really close attention. So I was off by a row here, but I managed to make it work. So I think it's really cute, and this is stitched on 18 count smoky 18 count smoky blue, I think, by Fabric Flare, using the code for DMC. And this one is Patriotic Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. And I stitched this on just an 18 count Ada that I dyed myself. So this is the second Tiny Town I've done. I'm not sure which one I will do next. I did the Halloween Tiny Town. So and this one, I am so happy it's done. This was one of those projects that while I love the image, I did not enjoy stitching on it. But it's done and I love it, and it's all good. So this is Autumn Town by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Stitched on 18 count Sage by Fabric Flare. Now I chose not to do the corn stalks, which would have been here, 2 corn stalks right here. I was done. I just needed to be done with this so I could just enjoy it. So, and I don't really know what it was I didn't like about stitching it, I just don't know. But I love how it looks and I'm thrilled that it's finished. So I am stitching the Gold Collection Christmas Village ornaments, and I finished another one of these. So this is the second one that I finished. I finished this one, and now I finished this one. And this is it. This was stitched using all the kit things, and I really enjoyed it, other than I left all the back stitching to the end, and I'm not going to do that again. So, and here's the first one that I finished. So I will be starting number 3. And I am going to do the church right here. Okay. And then I finished Autumn Notes by Shepherd's Bush. And these are so fun to stitch. They're very small and just a quick stitch, but they're so cute when they're done. And this is it. And this is stitched on 32 count Macchiato by Bestitch Me, using mostly the DMC conversion, but I had to just sub a couple of threads, and it's got the little buttons on there. My dog's decided she wants to play. So I plan to stitch all of these. I'm sure I showed you this last time. This is Liberty. And I have one more that I'm working on right now that I'll show you in a minute. Take it. So then I have two big finishes, which I'm thrilled about. And these were actually my WIP Go numbers for July. And I finished both of them. So this is History of Sheep by Jardin Privé. And I love this one. This was stitched on 20 count vintage country mocha using the called for DNC 1/1. And it comes in 4 charts that you can stitch by themselves or put them all together like I did. So if I can hold this properly. So let's see. This was number 1 right here, number 2, number 3, and then number 4 over here. So when I go to the framers next time, this will be one of the ones that I take. And this one was my birthday start last year. So I'm very happy to have it finished. And this is the Day by Plum Street Samplers. 20 count vintage country mocha using the called for floss. 1/1. So I love it. And it was thrilling to completely finish both of my WIP Goes from July. So those are my finishes. And this one I'll be taking to the framers also when I go next time. My bangs are always a mess when I do this. Okay, so now we can talk about WIP Go. So those 2 were the calls for July. I finished them. So the ones that are called for August are, I can find where I put them. Okay. So Christmas Jar Ornaments by Dimensions. And I've been working on this one right here. And the stitching is all finished, but I left all the back stitching till the end. So it's almost done. So this is the one right here that I've been working on. And this one I finished before. And when I finish the back stitching, because this being a WIP Go call, it means that I will do 15 hours on it in August. And so once I finish the back stitching, I am going to start, let me see. I think I'm going to start the red one. And the other thing that's been called for WIP Go for August is Winter Cottage by Lucy Heaton. And this is where I'm at. I know I am off on this one, so I'll need to fudge it a little bit because I am not picking any of this out. So I've been working over here, and yeah, I'll just be coming up to the trees and then over to the house. So this will get 15 hours. This is being stitched on 18 count Tiny Neutral Snowflakes by Fabric Flare. And this is one that I don't love stitching, but I love how it looks. It's funny that, isn't it? That even though you really like a chart, sometimes you don't enjoy the actual stitching part. I don't know why. So anyway, so those will get quite a bit of progress in August. Now we can look at my WIPS. So I have 15 WIPS. I'm not showing them all to you today, just showing the ones I've made decent progress on. But 15, 16 seems to be where I'm happy with my WIP count. Any more than that, then I tend to get overwhelmed, as I've talked about many times, because I like to feel like I'm making progress on everything. So this gives me enough variety for the challenges that I do, and helps me not get bored with one thing. But so 15 is a pretty good number for me. So first of all, what we're going to do is look at my new starts. So I have 6 new starts. So yes, they're WIPs now, but these first ones are also new starts. So the first one I'm doing is Summer Tier by Erin Elizabeth Designs. And as I mentioned, you have to be careful with these tiers. I have unpicked this 3 times. And if I hadn't messed up, yeah, I would have been finished with the tier and stitching all the fun stuff. But this is where I am. I had stitched, like I said, all of the tier before, but it is what it is. So yeah, this is where I'm at. This is 18 count Magical Clouds by Fabric Flare. I wanted something that kind of looked like a summer sky. So don't know if it's showing really well right here, but it shows up really well in person. So this is one of my morning stitches. I have 2 morning stitches that I'm working on. And I love how tiny these are. They're maybe 5 by 4 when they're finished on 18 count. So yeah, they're not very big. Another new start is Summer Notes by Shepherd's Bush. And there's the button pack right there. They're tiny. And I'm stitching this on 32 count ledger by Be Stitch Me, and a 32 count even weave is, or linen, is what's called for with these designs. So this is how much I have done. I think they're so cute. This is being stitched 1/1 using DMC substitute and just some matching floss. I didn't have everything that was called for, so I just substituted. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that's looking. And they stitch up really fast. This is A Heart of Summer by Little Dove Designs. I'm stitching this one on 18 count Valor by Picture This Plus, which is the first time I've used fabric by Picture This Plus, and I quite like it. So this is looking kind of gray. It's green. So, and I'm kind of all over the place stitching this. My plan was just to stitch down till I got to the bottom and then start stitching up in all the rows. So, but this has been fun. I've got all 4 of the seasons. So I plan on stitching all 4. And then I started Summer Breeze by the Prairie Schooler. You can probably sense a theme here. I decided to grab everything summer. And I just got a small start on this one. This is 18 count Vintage Country Mocha using the code for DMC, and I've stitched the other 3 seasons on the same fabric, so winter, fall, and spring. Okay, those are all my new starts. Was that 6? Didn't seem like 6. 1, 2, 3. That was only 4. Why did I think I had 6 new starts? Oh well. So those are my new starts. Other than one, I'm trying to follow the finish one, start one. So if I finish a small, I start a small. If I finish something larger, I start something larger. So, but the Summer Breeze one I just threw in there because it was summer and I was just trying to get started on all my summer ones. Okay, now we can start my WIPS. So this one is American Sampler by Plum Street Samplers. I haven't done a lot on it, but I've done a little bit. This is 20 count Vintage Country Mocha, which is my go-to fabric for my bigger pieces. I'm using the code for floss. And I think it's looking pretty good so far. This is still page 1, so there's a lot to do, but we'll get there. This is Lady Halloween by Jardin Privé. And I try and pull this out on Wednesdays for Wicked Wednesday, but it also comes out for various challenges too. But I'm still on page 1. I haven't made a ton of progress. So this is 18 count Lavender by Fabric Player. And I'm using mostly DMC 310. So the code for floss, except for this pearl gray, which the code for is a darker gray, and it just didn't work on this fabric. So I do have some orange and purple and lime green that I'm gonna pop in there in different places for pops of color. But this is where I am right now. This is Feathered Friends Snowman by Mill Hill. And I try and work on this on Mondays, but I haven't been very good lately. Although I have made some good progress. Oops. Over the last week or two. So he's looking pretty cute. So I need to try and be better with pulling him out, at least on a Monday. Because these really shouldn't take that long to do. But I've been working on this one for quite a while. And we have Summer Quaker by Lila Studio. This is slow going, but progress is progress. So this is being stitched on 18 count Aqua by Fabric Player, using the code for DMC 1/1. So I was stuck here for a long time, and there's still a lot of stitching to do in the middle there, but I've finally moved up here to try and move things to make myself feel like I'm making more progress. But I think it's looking pretty good. So I think I'm gonna continue over here to the other edge, and then come back and do some more work in the middle. That's kind of my thoughts right now, but we'll see. I think this is on my WIPS board. One more time, so there'll be once more this year that it will get pulled for WIPS and get quite a bit of progress made. And finally, this is my birthday start for this year. Jardin Privé, floral composition. Let's see. This is what it will look like when it's done. So there's 3 different charts that I'm putting together. So you've got 1, 2, and 3. And I started in the upper left corner, so I started with chart number 2. And that's what I've done. Still on page 1. So this is being stitched on 18 count white Aida. I wanted all the colors to pop. So it's called for DMC 2/1. So those are all my WIPS. For plans, I've finished my patriotic stitching for now. I've started all the summer pieces I want to start, so when I start something new going forward, it will probably be fall pieces or Halloween. And follow my WIP goals and the challenges on WIP Warriors, and just keep trying to make progress, and maybe, you know, in August or September get more things framed or finished. My goal this year was to try and finish 1 thing a month, fully finish 1 thing a month, and I'm doing pretty well. I'm sure I've surpassed that goal so far, but I want to keep trying to finish 1 thing a month. So yeah, that's my plans as far as stitching goes. I don't have any haul, so I've been pretty good. And so that's all my stitching chatter for today. If that's what you're here for, then feel free to go on and find somebody else to watch, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for stopping by. So we can talk a little bit about books and a tiny bit about life. So books this year, I listened to 16 books in July, and they were by Sarah A. Denzel, J.P. Pomer, Bobby Holmes, and Lisa Jewell. So Lisa Jewell, Sarah A. Denzel, and J.P. Pomer are all in the same genre of murder mystery, psychological thriller type things, which I've been reading a ton of over the last few months. So what I've been doing, since they can be quite heavy, I've started in the last couple of weeks. I'll listen to one of those, and then listen to the Bobby Holmes books, and it's a series that I'm reading called Haunting Danielle. Book 1 is The Ghost of Marlowe House. Book 2 is The Ghost Who Loved Diamonds. Book 3, The Ghost Who Wasn't. Book 4, The Ghost Who Wanted Revenge. And book 5 was The Ghost of Halloween Past. So I've been alternating those because, yes, they're murder mysteries, but they're much more lighthearted. And I've really been enjoying them. Now there's like 34 books in the series. Whether or not I'll read all of them, I don't know, but for right now I'm enjoying them. It's about a girl that's inherited a house in a small town in Oregon, and she has been able to see ghosts, some ghosts, since she was a child. When she moves into the house, she finds out that it's haunted. And she gets embroiled in all these mysteries, and so she has the ghost in her house, but she also has other ghosts that are either involved in the mystery, in the murders, stuff like that. They're fun, they're light, and it's been a really good palate cleanser in between the heavier books. But I downloaded a bunch of books. Oh, I was looking for my phone and it's right there. I downloaded a bunch of books to read, and so I have some by Kristen Hanna and Karen White, which I will be reading this next month. So I've enjoyed most of the books that I've read. You know, there's some I enjoy more than others, but I would recommend these authors. I think they're really good if you like that genre. So that's the book stuff. Plus, before I finish the book stuff, Sarah A. Denzel, her books are set in the UK. Is Lisa Jo British as well? I can't remember now. Being British, I like books that are set over there. So it's just familiar to me, and I mean, I enjoy all different kinds of books, and it doesn't matter if they're British or not, but I do enjoy the fact that some of these authors are British and that they're set in Britain. So that's the book stuff. Life, there's not a lot going on, which in our world is nice. Pretty much the same old. Yeah, I don't think there's not a whole lot going on. Katrina and I went out for a drive yesterday. We went out to the Great Salt Lake, which is about 40 minutes from where I live, and I thought, oh great, I'll get some pictures, and no, we have so much smoke in the air from fires within the state, but mostly big fires in California and Idaho. And so today I'm looking out the window and you can't even see the mountains. It's just, yeah, it's like, so we went on the drive. We had a really nice time, despite the fact that the pictures I took, you couldn't even see the lake, but that's okay. We still had a good time. But we're all dealing with scratchy eyes and scratchy throat. My husband was complaining about it this morning, and Katrina was complaining about it, and I'm dealing with it, so I'm sure it's the smoke. And I think they said it will be Friday or Saturday before the wind shifts and the smoke will be gone. It's one of these things we deal with almost every summer, unfortunately. I talked to my youngest daughter, Sarah, yesterday. She lives in California, and she's not dealing with any smoke where she's at. So her husband's in the Navy, and he will be going to dive school in December or January. So she's thinking of moving back here while he's in Florida. So she may be back. If he leaves in December, she'll come in November. If he leaves in January, she'll come in December. she's not 100% sure, but that's where they're leaning right now. So, and she's hoping to come visit in August, which will be really nice because we haven't seen her since she moved. Other than that, there's nothing going on. My husband, hopefully, fingers crossed, is ready to paint the entryway this weekend. It's been sitting there for months. Things just keep getting in the way, but he got everything sanded, so he'll be painting the interior of our front door and the staircase and all the baseboards and trims and stuff like that. So I'll be kind of trapped in here on Saturday when he does that, because he'll have to put plastic up on all of the entryways into the other parts of the house, because he spray paints everything. He has a big paint sprayer, and the paint dust gets into everything. So hopefully that will be done this weekend, and then he can get the floor done, finished, and then he can move upstairs, which will be great. So in order for him to get the floor done, I have to clean out my craft room. So we've been using it kind of as a catch-all for when one room's being worked on. Let's just put this in the craft room. And so there's a lot of stuff in there in addition to my craft stuff, and I do a lot of paper crafting, so I have a lot of stuff in there. We have shelves all the way up most of the walls, so I can leave that there, but we have to take the tables out. Everything that's on the tables, yeah, it's going to take a lot of energy to get that done, but once it's done, once the floor's down, I want to kind of reconfigure my craft room. And so I'm trying to come up with a plan for that. It's small, it's very small, but yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending some time with me. I hope that you are doing well and that life is treating you well at the moment. I hope you're finding time to stitch, and hopefully you'll come back and join me next month. And I hope you have a great month until I see you next time. Take care. Bye for now.